All right, bro. I'm gonna let you lead this thing. We got topics. Let's fucking knock them out. Well, one, I'm sorry. Welcome back to the world of the living. I'm sorry you were dead for a few days. Can you talk? Can you talk about why this wasn't on the topic, but we were talking about you being sick. Can you explain how the heat of Florida? It's not just the heat that makes you sick.
Not just the heat. So it's, as you well know, the heat in Florida, for people who are not from here or have not experienced this, they talk about, the West Coast, Nevada, Arizona, being like, oh, it's 110. That's a completely different type of heat. Dry heat. It's dry heat. Once you hit in the shade, you're not in a direct sunlight. The temperature drastically changes in and out of the shade. Here, it's not so much. You have the humidity. This is what I like to tell you. It's like you have a hot shower, right? You have a hot shower going, it's nice and steamy, blah, 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 whatever. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, like a sauna. You walk in there, as soon as you walk into the sauna, it's like walking out your front door into a sauna, like steamy bathroom, right? It's just it's just heat and uncomfortable. You don't even have to be sweating. You're moist because it's moist outside, right?
Yeah.
So then what happens is, especially when you're outside working, you start to sweat. Obviously, your body temperature internal temperature is rising. You start to sweat, right? So now, not only are you hot and uncomfortable, now you're also wet. Right. So now when you're trying to hit that AC, you're not dry. You're still wet, but now you're just cold. Yeah. So the back and forth of that, hot, cold, trying to cool down, constant air, constant AC in your face, whatever, but it's not a good combination at all. So it kind of, as you can hear, probably hear still some of the congestion in my voice, but it definitely kicked my ass a little bit. Take some meds, some NyQuil, some Dayquil, some Tylenol, PM, all kind of shit to kind of get back on track. So but obviously, it's one of those things where I would say, sweating it out. Well, you have no choice here to sweat it out. You have no choice here but the fucking sweat. I worked today doing some training, and all of us at the same time were like, bro, it's hot as fuck outside. I think the meter today hit 105. Like it feels like 105. It's like boiling water. It's like being boiled alive almost. It's terrible, bro. Terrible, wildly uncomfortable. I don't even want to open the door.
Yeah, I hear you.
One up swing.
All right, well, welcome back, bro.
Thank you. All right, let's get into it, bro. We were talking offline about this, which I haven't seen it. I'm unfamiliar with what's happening. I've heard, I'm aware of it, but I haven't looked at it for myself to see what the fuck is going on. The Sydney Sweeney commercial, what the hell is going on?
So maybe, I don't know if this is going to be a new hot take or not, but one, I don't care. That's the biggest thing. I don't care. It's typical shit, right? I don't care until every time I scroll on every single app, every podcast, every news channel, they're making me care about something. And I'm like, okay, why do I care about this? And so the topics have ranged from, just to break it down, Sydney Sweeney, actress, white female, cut a few commercials for American Eagle. Again, I don't know if they even make my size, so I don't wear American Eagle jeans or anything.
That right there on the surface, okay.
Yeah, don't care. And also, I don't care. Just, suggestive ads, which I was saying earlier, in the 90s and early 2000s. Okay, so like every commercial we've ever, does nobody remember Paris Hilton with Carl's Jr., a fast food burger joint, doing a car wash in a bikini selling burgers? Okay, what are we doing? But it has ranged, and this is on the left and the right now. But the left is freaking out saying it's regressive and, you're conceding to the male gaze and all these. I'm just like, who gives a shit? And then the right, and I'm sorry, they also are like, American Eagle is a far right company now or some shit. And I'm like, okay, they sell jeans. I don't know, bro. And then the right side is like, it's parts of the right, I guess I should say. They're like, they don't like the sexualization of males or females for the purposes of selling a product. And that's kind of a standard tried true for a long time, which I'm just like, okay, welcome to capitalism or trying to sell anything ever for, I don't know, 200-300 years.
Yeah, what?
I don't know, bro. This is a hard one because I don't care enough to really like have a passionate, point of view on it. It's amazing to me, 2025, all the shit going on. People want to get distracted with this dumbest shit. Still to this day, it makes me feel bad for America. I don't care.
So that's about jeans and them being over-sexualized. It's like, well, that's one of the three ways to sell something. You're selling sex, entertainment, or you're teaching somebody something. That's literally pretty much it. So
yeah. Well, in 2019, can you go ahead another jean commercial where they had multitude of different races of females, and also they had a lady with like prosthetic leg, all kinds of disabilities. So once again, okay, that's what I'm saying. I still don't care.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
it's for genes.
Like I said, I've seen, I guess, the beginning of the commercial, or like, seen their picture, like, oh, Sydney, whatever. I'm like, okay, just tell them I was like, white woman in jeans.
Well, let me ask you this: is there such a thing as measurable attractiveness? I guess that's another part.
Measurable? I would say yes. This is okay. This is like a side. A lot of these podcasts, like these dating relationships, little clips here and there, right?
Oh yeah.
You hear men and women, both sides of it, gay, straight, trans, whatever. Everybody's dating is not. Well, no matter what your orientation is or your preference is, everybody's dating, right? We could say for the most part, everybody likes somebody, wants to be liked by somebody that they're interested in. I mean, that's pretty across the board, right? And you hear these different podcasts and talking points, whatever. They're like, oh, men should be doing this, women should be doing this, and good men and bad women, and all different kinds of talking points. And I just sometimes kind of sit back and watch, and I'm like, you bring up the attractive. People making these points, I'm like, do you ever consider that you might maybe you're just not attractive? maybe that's what's happening, and like maybe that's why you're having some of the experiences that you're having, is that maybe these people that you find attractive just don't find you attractive, which is okay. But I'm like, I feel like a lot of the things you're talking about don't apply when someone likes you and is attracted to you.
That's that. There was one you talk about. You reminded me, Charleston White, when he was on one of these shows or whatever, and he walks up to this woman. He's like, "Why are your knees so low?" I mean, I didn't even, until he said it, I didn't even think about it. I was like, "What, bro?" But once he said it, you couldn't unsee it, bro. Why are your knees all the way down there? My point being, like, if some other dude found her, like, yo, she's a dime piece or whatever, that would never,
the positioning of her knees wouldn't matter. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that wouldn't be a thing. It wouldn't be a problem, right? It's like, maybe the problem is not even the problem, but maybe the reality is that this person they don't like you like that.
Yeah. Well, there's another thing. This is not the topic we discussed, but I just was introduced to it. But apparently when you Google, why am I divorcing my amazing husband? If you Google that, it's like 1,000 videos. So this is a thing I didn't even know was a thing. But once again, it doesn't really tie into attractiveness or the Sydney Sweeney thing, but just the zeitgeist of where we're at today. Women are just saying, my husband's amazing. He's great. We have children. He's hardworking, takes care of me. All these things are great, but I just don't feel like I'm getting everything I should be getting out of this relationship, and I need to find myself, or whatever the fucking phraseology is.
What does that mean?
Again, these are not, hey, I'm in an abusive relationship. None of that stuff. My husband is great, but I want to find something else, so I'm divorcing my husband. And there are thousands of fucking videos. What the fuck is going on, bro? And you wonder why men are just like, I don't give a shit no more.
That's interesting to me.
Sorry, we didn't talk about that, but just
no, but that's I don't. On the surface, I don't understand what that is. I'm like, so do you just not like your husband? It sounds like you just don't like him.
Yeah, I know, it's wild shit, man.
Or you're not attracted to your husband.
So if a man could do everything, according to these own women's testimonies, be everything a husband should be, everything a man should be, and he's not a bum, he's not whatever, and it's still not enough. It's still not fucking enough for you. What possibly could a man do?
I know that. I saw this video the other day. And I know they said that as a joke, but they're like, Jeff Bezos can't keep his chick happy. What chance do you think you can?
Yeah, you're fucked, bro.
You're cooked, bro.
Yeah, you're done, bro.
Like, oh my God.
He ain't hitting it right.
The richest man in the world.
$300 trillion, bro, or $1 billion, whatever.
Still not happy. Like, God.
It's still not happy, bro. He works too much.
Exactly. But when I saw a thing, I probably sent it to you at some point, but it was like an old pimp, and it was like,
yes,
and they were doing like an interview, whatever. And
yeah,
he's like, what have you learned from just in your time doing this? He takes a pause, dramatic pause. He's thinking, and he's like, it's the one that he's like, you got to pick the one that likes you, not the one you like. And I was like, huh. He's like, because he's like, the one that likes you will treat you in a way that makes you feel good, makes you feel whole, whatever, right? Their focus is, essentially making you happy and, whatever. Yeah. They want to be there. And he's like, but the one that you like, he's like, you'll accept all kinds of things from this person just because you like them. And he's like, that's not conducive in the long run to a long sustaining relationship. I was like, yeah, that's
Great advice from a pimp, bro. Great advice from a pimp.
Great sound advice. Oh shit, I might take that one to heart. That's pretty good.
It's fucking hilarious, bro.
We're getting off time, bro. Let's get back.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. We went on, but that's what I'm saying. I don't care about the Sydney Sweeney thing at all. It's like they're beating me in the face with it for like the last 3 days.
Fucking better care, Sydney Sweeney. So you better care. But the Cincinnati thing, I know we've seen it. We've seen it, and I guess I saw an update this morning that they
arrested him.
Yeah, they made some arrests or whatever. My thing is, and again, it's never obviously not a justification for what we're seeing in the video or whatever, right? But if I go back to that one of my favorite episodes of the Boondocks, where it's Thugnificent, he's telling the story, right, about some shit that he was seeing, when he was a kid or whatever, and he's like, damn, I wonder what he did to make them that mad, bro. I ask myself that question all the time when I see things that are like just so outrageous or like so wild, like so on the far end of a spectrum, and you can see like the rage or like the hate or whatever, the extremeness of this emotion that you're looking at. I'm always like, not that it's a justification, because it's never justifying anything, right? But I'm like, what happened to make somebody that angry to get to that?
Now, I agree with you. And matter of fact, you reminded me of a story, but I'm gonna get to my point. Let me tell the story, then I'll get to my point. You remember? I remember that the white dude I wanted to arrest for incitement of rioting or whatever. He was
on campus or at the campus housing.
Yes, white dude was drunk. Decided it would be a good idea to drive through a predominantly black area and scream racial slurs, tell him to go back to Africa, all this shit. That dude had 80 to 100 people dump out of the apartment complex and chasing him down the road. Now, we get called. I respond. All I see is all these people around this dude's car. A dude's hanging out the side of the car, beating the shit out of him. So that's all I know that's going on. I have no idea. So I grab the dude hanging out the window, put him to the ground, handcuff him. The entire audience, I don't know, the group was like, it's not his fault. I was like, just give me a second. Like, I'm just like, and I'm trying to get the driver out. I'm trying like, what the fuck is going on?
You figure it out.
I get everybody separated. I take the driver, I handcuff him, and I put him in the back seat because I'm like, yo, they're going to kill this dude. I throw him in the back seat of the car, and I'm like, what is going on? And one spokesperson just came out and said, look, this is what's going on. And as he's telling me, my face must have been like, are you shitting me? What happened? And they're like, yes. I was like, damn. So I went immediately over to the guy I had originally put I handcuffed him. I'm like, my bad, bro. I had no idea. He's like, no, man, this is the thing. They all said, no, man, I get it. He goes, but he can't be doing that. That's crazy. And I was like, you are 100% right.
100% right.
I remember trying to articulate to the supervisor, because it was chaos, right? I'm like, yo, there's 100 people trying to kill this dude. Like, I don't know what the fuck. So, cops, they all show up. I'm like, it's fine. This is what I'm trying to say, though. They were in a heightened state. They were rightfully angry, but they were all like, problem is solved. Cops are here. Everyone was completely fine. A few people, they started leaving or whatever, but the core of them stayed and said, look, this is what's going on. And I said, we need to arrest this dude for incitement of rioting. Like, this is crazy what he did. And I remember the supervisors basically told me to shut up. I think they ended up arresting him for like a DUI or something, which, bro, that's getting thrown out the window. Anyway, whatever, right? But I remember being so pissed, and I'm like, if anything deserves it, it's this. So back it up to your point. What was the cause? One, I agree. What happened? I don't know. What if that couple just got done smacking the shit out of somebody's kid for no reason? You know what I mean? Like, you see those videos where people just walk up and hit a toddler or whatever. Justified. Pete, they fucking, like, I don't give a shit, right? But we don't know, right? So my point of view is, I fucking hate, and there's nothing I can do about it. Nobody cares what I say. Why does everything have to be boiled down to racism? It's always a race. It's always this, the tables return. I was like, we got to get away from that. What caused this? Now, if we find out, hey, this group saw these people, they were different race, and that's why they beat them up. Listen, it is what it is. It doesn't matter what the races are. But at some point, you got to be like, what happened? Why are they so angry?
Yeah, there's a story here, and I need to.
We got to get away from the immediate races, and if it was turned and and all this other bullshit, it's like, no, why does it always have to be that way? And it's like, are we really, as a group, that stupid that we're just going to constantly and forever just be stuck in the cycle of not caring about, hey, can we get back to like what actually happened? The law, things like that, law and order, those things that are important.
I agree. I mean, this is
why we got to get past this stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I would say I try to look at things objectively, right? But that's how my brain works. That's the nature of the job that that we're doing. You have to be. I have to leave my biases out of it. I have to look at what's happening objectively, right? So there's probably a little bit more practice doing that.
I know, bro. We're two cops talking about
right.
this.
So I was like, so
I
I'm not,
get
I'm
it.
not,
So
yeah,
I'm trying, yeah.
I'm not always so driven by race or saying things with just one lens, but that's why people like, I tell people these stories, like cop stories or whatever, and they're like, you can't ask them, you know, and I think, I say it jokingly, right? And I never do this to, you know, in a moment, especially like in certain situations, right? But like domestics, I would never say this to domestic violence victim, right? But like in some cases, like for in that instance, right, the story you just told, I would probably go to the guy, but hey man, what did you do to be a victim? But there's no way you're telling me that 100 people want to get after you for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Now again, fight or not, just because we have First Amendment, you know, protections, blah blah blah. It's like, but that does add context to the situation and to the story. You're running down the, you know, say, hey, F all N-words in the middle of my neighborhood, and then you have like 40 people chase after you, and maybe you want to have a conversation with you about that.
I'm sorry. He also hit like 5 cars. So let me just.
Oh well, yeah.
I left that out. Yeah. There's a lot going on. That's right. I wasn't planning on talking about it, but I'm remembering now. I mean, the dude's actions were egregious. But continue. I'm sorry.
Right, but it's like, but I always ask that because I think it's important to add context to any story that you're telling, right? So it's like, you can't just, and we've all had like, you know, kerfuffles or bullshit or whatever, where it's like, you know, somebody lost the fight or do whatever. They're like, oh man, they call the cops essentially because they lost the fight that they fucking started. And like, oh, this person punched me. And I'm always like, so let me get this straight. You want me to believe that this person today of all days woke up this morning and decided just to punch you for no reason whatsoever? Today was that day they crashed out for no reason. I'm not saying it went the right or wrong, but you want me to believe that it's for no reason. Well, I mean, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Tell me the story because I'm going to put it in the report when I write it. I was like, they may be in the wrong and they might get arrested. They might, or I might arrest you. But I want to know the context of the story so I can articulate it properly and provide context when I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. How many times have you heard somebody go, they get victimized? When I say victimized, they get beat up or whatever the fuck's going on, or something stolen or whatever, like rock trades, right? You know, where they give the dealer their car for a piece of crack, and then they're like, oh, they stole my car. It's like, yeah. But anyway, how many times someone's been victimized and you're like, so what happened? I was just minding my own business, and then they just came out of nowhere and just started beating the hell out of me.
Do you live over here? Well, no, I live over. Okay.
Why are you over here? Yeah, it's like you're driving me crazy.
Okay.
You might be a victim for sure.
You might be.
Stop lying, bro.
But I'm going to prove that you're a victim before I just take the word for it on some bullshit. Absolutely not.
100% no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's and the way, you know what? And the other reason why I asked that question when I was watching it, typically when you see these things, there's usually someone, right, even within the group who's, for example, in this particular video, right, you would think there's normally something like this. There's usually someone who's like, hey, that's enough.
Yeah.
Right. There's usually one or two people like, hey, don't take it too far. They got the point. Don't take it too far. Right. From what I saw, this really didn't seem to be any of that going on.
No, they were all in.
And that was, to me, that was another sign of being like, okay, again, what happened before this to rise up that everybody, like, there is no voice of reason in the group whatsoever to be like, okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's an emotional reaction every time, the way they edit it, narrate it. I'm so sick of it. And to your point, it's all over YouTube. There's a bunch of videos, and I'm sure there's more than one. When like two dudes are fighting, and he's like, "Yeah, motherfucker," and he goes like, "Take his chain," and his homeboy goes, "Whoa, don't take his chain. That's robbery. That's a felon."
So, that ass whooping, that's a misdemeanor. He deserves that.
You steal his chain, that's a robbery, bro.
Robbery. Hey,
that voice of reason, bro.
Don't take it too far. Don't take it too far. We came in to whoop his ass. We did that.
Now we gotta go.
Let's not push the boundaries on that thing.
That's funny, bro.
But while we're on viral topics, we're talking before about the. And I think, if I can remember correctly, I think this happened around Juneteenth of last year, the boat thing.
Yeah, bro.
Was it? Yeah, I think it was around Juneteenth. It wasn't a February thing. Where was it? Alabama? Was it Mobile? Right?
It was Alabama, Louisiana. It was one of those things. Whatever. It was down there in the deep South, bro.
Yeah. So it was like, the whole boat thing where I just thought it was crazy. The dude jumped in the water to swim across.
He wanted to get some, bro.
Come help his boy out. And I'm like, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Because again, when you're looking at it, it wasn't what, three or four white dudes beating up on an older black dude with around other blacks. Like, oh, it's like, listen, not today.
Listen,
not today.
And let me just say this: it has nothing to do with race, but as a cop, that was always like something I was like, man, I wish that you just show up and there's already a fight because I don't need probable cause. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's my zone partner, my boys. I'm jumping in now. It's like, yo, now I get some. I don't know what he could have started it. I don't know.
I guess I don't know. I know what you're not going to do. I know you're not going to jump in.
No.
And I think, like watching that one, I think that's probably what was happening. It was like, oh, hold on, you about to jump this dude? It's not even like it's a one, like a straight up, whatever. Because I think most people would be like, hey, this is straight up. You got to handle that. But you just about to jump this dude? No. And again, I don't know the area. How are racial tensions in the area? I don't know. Right? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Where we're from, that kind of thing that doesn't really.
Not to like that, bro.
It's not like that where we are. It's very diverse, so you don't really get a lot of that. Or it's not prevalent like that. It's a lot more covert.
Yeah. Hold on. Sorry, bro. Hold on. You just tapped into something else. This is why I was calling you the other day, because I heard this shit on the radio and I was like, whoa, so there is a group of, I don't have the story. I can't remember where it's at. North Carolina, it's somewhere. Doesn't matter. There's a group of white people that bought up a couple 100 acres of land. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about? And they basically whites only.
Mm-hmm.
It's fenced off and people are spitting mad about it. I'm trying to think. Matt Walsh, he broke it down. He goes, listen, it's private property. They're allowed to do it whatever they want. And he was like, shall I remind you, in 2020, there was a group of black people, this is during the George Floyd thing, that bought a few hundred acres in Freedom, Georgia. And it was going to be blacks only. They wrote amazing pieces and how amazing this is and how safe and how great and how, what an amazing, just hyping it up. And he goes, those same people are tearing these people down for doing the same thing, but for whites only.
So now what I've seen from that was the interview where, and I don't know the gentleman's name who was.
I don't either.
Who was speaking, who the guy was, who they were interviewing, right? And he was saying, he's like, we want to do this, we should be able to. Like, you're right. He's like, when black people, want to do these things and they start getting, nobody says anything. And I was like,
well, they don't though.
But they do. They have historically. I was like, anytime black people have had anything of their own, they burnt it down. There's historical events.
All right, this is 2025, bro.
I can't you, but he was trying to make it. He was saying like you're having a revisionist history of memory. It's like there's been plenty of times when black people did have their own thing. Tulsa, they burned it down. Rosewood, they burned it down. I was like,
bro,
but it happened.
Yeah. Of course,
but it's like he's like, we should be able to do it. It's like no one's telling you that you can't.
Well, they're trying to tell him that he can't. They're telling him it's wrong, and they're actually trying to. The ACLU is trying to sue that dude.
Well, go over there.
Oh, that's what. So this is one of those things where, bro, I know it's different, but like in Florida, they have there's other nudist colonies. Mm-hmm. We all know where they are. They exist. Mm-hmm. Teenage kids always try to break into them. I don't know why you want to see a bunch of old naked people because it's always old naked people. I don't care. I don't want to go in there, but I'm not. I don't care if they want to. You see what I'm saying? This was another one of those stories where I don't care. You're making me care. And I don't want to.
Yeah, I think, and I don't care. They want to be out there by themselves.
Doing weird things. Hey, man.
Okay, go ahead, bro.
As long as you're not hurting nobody.
Exactly. No one's bothered. But I think that was people's outrage at the point.
Yeah, but where was the outrage when the same thing was happening in Freedom, Georgia?
I don't think there is outrage.
No, there wasn't. That's the point.
For what?
Same exact concept, but no outrage.
What I'm saying is, I don't think people had outrage. I think people had outrage about his statements about.
So you don't think it had so much to do with what they're doing, but the statements he was making? It
was about the statements he was making about previously having, what if black people did this, there wouldn't be a problem. Well, historically speaking, that is incorrect. So we've seen this multiple times, whether it was out of necessity or out of want to, because obviously a lot of this shit happened during education. You can't be a part of us. Okay, well, we're just going to go over here and build our own
do our own thing. Yeah.
And we're not bothering. And then it's like, and I had to say this by myself, like, I'm not bothering you. Leave us alone. So you want to be left alone? Cool. We're over here. Leave us alone. We don't bother you. And I think
leave me alone.
That was I think his statements about that was what got people
riled up.
I guess riled up or upset or whatever. But I think that's what really most of the discourse that I've seen is about that. Not necessarily the fact that they want to go be in the woods by themselves. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, have at it, bro.
It's not uncommon for communities to have like Chinatown.
I think they call it. I think they call those people Amish, bro.
I think that's like the Amish, like having communities to themselves is not uncommon.
Oh my god, bro! We're getting off topic, bro. There was a black dude that living in an Amish village, bro, and it was amazing. Yeah. Well, hold on. I got it. Dude, hold on. See, these things pop up, and I'm not ready to talk about it. Then I bring it up because it pops in my head.
Let me go.
Bro, it was just like they did like a little. No, they're just giving me. Dang it. Stand by on that one.
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
There he is. It's called the Black Amish Dude. Hold on. Now I don't know if it's real. No, can't tell if it's real or not. Damn it. Just look it up. Just type in the Black Amish Dude, and Amish is spelled Amish. I spelled it wrong. I don't
even want to say what just popped up on my.
Wait, is it to do with the hat and the gold teeth, bro?
Yeah,
yeah.
It's clearly an AI picture. It's like, come on.
Come on, bro.
It's like, come on, man. Oh, I guess the first known African American Amish person was Moses Shirley, who was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, it's a real thing. I don't know if that guy's a real Amish guy, but
I'm not discrediting it. I've never seen it.
Ah, dude, I found it. So there's a community of Amish that were adopting black children and raising them in the Amish. That's what it was. Sorry. See, this is what happens when I talk about something I wasn't prepared to talk about. Yes, which is amazing, bro.
To be honest,
and look up this. It's called Alan, Alan. So he was a child. That's what it was. Sorry. So he was raised in an Amish community. Yes.
I don't even know what Amish people do. Is it just
I don't either. It was just the point is, huh?
Is just no technology? Or?
Yeah. I mean, listen, they build hella furniture. They have great food at the fresh market or whatever. I know those things.
Listen, I tell you what about the fucking Amish donuts. I know about that.
Bro, Yoder's in Florida, their pies and shit, 5 ingredients. Yeah. I know limited things. I know their food is good and their furniture is dope. Other than that, I don't really know. And they wear very hot wool clothing and they ride around on horses. That's all I know. Or buggies, I should say.
Yeah. Well,
food is banging.
The point, they're very secluded to themselves. I wouldn't know. I've never come across an Amish person to ask them in depth about the culture of the community.
Yeah, I know they could build a barn in one day or some shit.
Yeah, I heard some of their fucking the construction feats are like are up there.
And no heavy machinery, dude.
Yeah, no heavy machinery and tools, like nothing like that. It's kind of crazy. Yeah. I need to learn something from them or something.
And Rumspringer, that's the only other, I learned that from Letterkenny. Their kids are allowed to go out into the world for like a year so they can experience it and they can decide if they want to come back and be part of the community or stay out of the community. I guess I know more than I should. TV shows, bro. Letterkenny, great show.
Probably a documentary. Well, that brings us to our next topic while we're on the kids going into the world. What do you think about the parenting? You're a parent, right?
No. Well, so I just recorded on the other podcast, Street Tales. I'll be pushing it out in the next day or two. Dr. Raul Mira, he's a dude. One amazing story. Naturalized citizen from India, came over here when he was 5. Dad was a professor. He ended up becoming a psychiatrist because he has an MD and did 5 years of residency. Again, a little ignorant. But with that, and he specializes in adolescence, and he basically does a lot of work with foster kids and trauma. Mm-hmm. And his whole thing is what he calls emotional vaccines and building emotionally resilient adults. So anyway, within that, we were talking about kids and how to build emotional resiliency in children. The topic came up on, what are some simple things that parents can do to help build productive and emotionally resilient children. And this is whether so my new term, instead of saying inner city or city or whatever, is going to be populated areas and unpopulated areas, because to me, that's the difference. Right. And he said, because some of the things he said is like Maslow's law or whatever, like you need to have food, water, sleep, shelter, and safety or security, however you want to phrase it. And he goes, people in more unpopulated areas, it's not like a one size fits all. He goes, but you need to get outside. Food, safety, and security is another big one. He goes, but a lot of that, he goes, all this has to do with how you parent. He goes, you can put a child in any circumstance, populated, unpopulated, whatever it is. He goes, but if the parents aren't doing certain things right. And one of the things he said, he goes, parents need to get off their phones, which is that's definitely a new, like our generation or younger generation parents now who are on social media more than their kids are probably. He goes, you need to turn off your phone, turn off the TV, talk to your children. And he goes, and again, food, water, sleep. He goes, sleep is a big one. You got to keep your kids off social media. He goes, because that screen, right? That screen, it fucks up the synapses of your brain. And I guess there's studies about it. It'll keep you up. And a lot of kids like to look at their phone before they go to bed. Adults do the same thing, all these things. But he said it was just some very simple things. And he did tie it into law enforcement, because in law enforcement, you're always either tired or you're thinking about casework or you're getting ready for work or whatever it is. He's like, you need to set aside time, put your phone down. And I am super guilty of this. When my kids were younger, the phone would ring because it's either, case stuff, work stuff, whatever it might be, right? I'm always thinking about something else other than my children. Mm-hmm. He goes, you need to give them your undivided attention. Ask them how they're doing. And he was even saying that kids can tell this stuff even from the womb. And I'm tearing it up. I'm doing a terrible job. Listen to the episode. Like I said, the Sun Street Tales, but, cause he said that, basically, it might be an unplanned or unexpected pregnancy, right? Not that you've had any run-ins with that, BJ. But we, baby. He goes, but like kids can say, when an infant is born, it's looking at your face. If you're smiling, your intensity, like it's picking up all this stuff, right? It's consuming at a massive rate. And if you love that child, want that child, you're happy for that child, you want to be, it can pick these things up, even with it being nonverbal. He goes, as opposed to if like, this is a mistake, I didn't want you, you're a burden, kids can also pick that up too. And I was like, damn, bro.
That's interesting.
Things I didn't think about. And he goes, keep in mind, he was skipping through it. He goes, and I didn't tell the story on the show, but I remember in our area that we used to cover, be a baby in a stroller sucking on Coca-Cola out of a bottle with a nipple on it at 2 a.m. I'm like, why is your baby outside? Yeah. Don't tell me how to parent my kid.
Like,
what are you feeding? Is that soda? He likes it. So anyway, you got to nutrition and sleep are all important things, but he said that, yeah, growing up in a heavily populated area where you hear sirens or potentially gunshots, or he goes, even if you take the criminality out of it, you just have a massive press of people. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to be, especially if they're not part of your community, right? So it's not like, we were just talking about the Amish community. There might be, 100 people, they all know you, but it's kind of like your family, but in a big city like New York or Tampa, not that they're the same, but anyway, whatever. There's 10,000 people all around you that are strangers.
Hard to feel safe.
It makes you feel unsafe.
Yeah, hard to feel safe like that.
It was very interesting, dude. And I'm butchering it, but the way he broke it down, I was like, bro, I didn't think about none of that shit.
Yeah, but all of that makes sense though. All of that makes sense, especially the nonverbal communication when kids pick up on. Now I can't say obviously I have children of my own, but what I can say is my time in school resource, especially with elementary school kids, it's surprising time. I would just be observing, just a lot of just walking around because I'm not really interacting with them the same way as like you would middle school or high school kids, right? They're not.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't have the ability to articulate their thoughts the same way, or don't even really have their own thoughts, right? But so a lot of it is just observing observing them and how they're interacting with what's around them. And one thing I do remember is how little kids will just pick up on cues from other adults. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, so if you're in a room and the teacher's upset about something, whatever, and she never has to say anything. But I mean, the kids are old enough to pick up on social cues and body language, and they're like, they'll be like, Miss So-and-so, what's the matter? You seem upset. Like, you're not happy like you were earlier today or whatever. It's like, they're picking up on that kind of thing. The same way as like, so super, super, super crazy, but like how girls I only hear women tunes, right? The vibes. I'm just feeling the vibes or whatever. And I'm like, do you mean the body language and like the frequency of the room? You mean like reading the room? Is that what you mean? But even now, how you can pick up how the energy in the room will shift. People walking in, people leaving. How people another too is like how people feel about you and how what's happening between that, right?
Oh yeah, the room gets quiet when you walk in. You're like, y'all talking shit?
Y'all got something to say? Whatever, right? So you obviously they say 90% of communication is nonverbal, even when in the parenting thing, right? And I credit you, credit you with being a good parent. Actually, I always tell us all the time, the kids are very well adjusted, especially for the age and like where they're at in life. And I was thinking, as you were saying that, I was thinking about my parents a lot when I was growing up, but always take the time to be like, hey, articulate yourself. Right? Don't just say like, I'm angry. Like, okay, articulate what you're angry about, why you're angry, what is, let's say, obviously it's parenting, but
use your word.
Give the opportunity and the space to like say what's on your mind. So, I think that's going forward now when you see just like different, come across different people and people's inability to like communicate or like talk, or like they don't know, like, I don't know how I feel. I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, you know how you feel. You just don't. It's one of two things. You want to have the confrontation, or you lack the inability to articulate yourself well enough to help somebody understand you. I was like, well, one of the things that conducive for positive communication. They should probably do something about that. But it's interesting. But it's interesting. I think all the things are. I think it's we all pick up on it, but it's probably not something that we're actively thinking about all the time, for sure.
Yeah, I saw a meme. It said, "Secret hate is so wild." He goes, "If you're gonna hate me with your chest."
Yeah, with your chest. Like, I know you hate me. One of my favorite songs right now is first of all, I love old school OJ the Juice Man, but he's on a song with this guy from North Carolina called Trap Dickie, and I love the song right now. The song is called "I'm Getting Money," and part of the chorus is like, he's like, "I'm getting money. I know bitches hate me." He's like, I know you motherfuckers hate me. I can tell. I was like, I can literally tell. I can see it. I can feel it. I know. I see it in your eyes. I got it. I don't give a fuck, but I can tell. I'm not oblivious to the fact that you hate me. So I bet, but it's I love it. So I listened to that shit probably like 4 or 5 times.
Bro, you just we need to do an episode where you just talk about music, because you know the most random shit that you're always sending me stuff, and some of it I love it, some of them I'm like, bro, I don't get it. But we need to, your music knowledge is vast, shall we say?
Do love music.
Sorry, sidebar. We'll do that at some point. We got to do it, bro.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people don't know this about me. Is they know I like music, but like I grew up actually when I was young in chorus, and so like I wanted to be like what's your if you have like a closet dream or whatever, I used to be like be an R&B singer.
Shit, but I think you're too big for that, bro. I don't know.
It's not gonna work out too well, but if I could go back and choose like a side thing, to be good at or whatever, it'd probably be that.
Bro, you could do praise and worship though. You got that down, bro. With the suit on, come on, bro.
Thinking for the. Got the hymns down, right? While we're on the music thing, I saw this the other day. I don't know how familiar you are with the case, but the Tory Lanez thing.
So I'm familiar that he was in trouble, but you have dropped some new knowledge on me. And shout out Tory Lanez, freestyle Aiden Ross. That's the extent of my. I know his music, but like recent shit.
Yeah, I love that freestyle. And it's I guess it's
trusted.
You got some new information to come to light.
Yeah. So was he convicted?
He was convicted. He was convicted of a gun charge.
Okay.
Gun charge, right? Not to get too deep into the case, right? But convicted of a possession of a gun, was ultimately gotten, in jail, which ultimately didn't get him deported, right? So a 10-year sentence. But strangely enough, they found no GSR on his hands, and the DNA was inconclusive. So and
they convicted him.
Yeah. So but I guess in the original trial, they did not produce the bodyguard was there as a witness and to give testimony, it was weird because they gave the other girl immunity, but her testimony didn't really match what happened. It was like an independent witness. You kind of saw the whole thing going on, kind of described what he said, what his lawyer said kind of happened. But I guess this this additional witness and maybe some audio is going to shift the way that this thing kind of looks. And I brought that up to say this is that it's interesting because he's actually going to they're going to take a look at the appeal, which doesn't happen, which obviously as we know, which does not happen a lot in proceedings.
It does not. Judges don't like to overstep other judges.
No, it does not happen a lot. So the fact that this is coming to this next month, I think it's a pretty big deal. And kind of
did he get Young Thug's attorney? Is that what happened?
I think he should. I think he should because that guy's a monster, boy. Brian Steele's a monster. He beat 2 RICO cases in the same year, pretty much.
Yeah. He's gonna be wearing a chain next time that he goes to court.
Maybe the sock after him on his last album.
Sorry, we're getting off topic. But tell me what you're telling me about the Rock Nation stuff, because that to me was like, ooh.
Okay, so
it's conspiracies, bro. But go ahead.
It's conspiracy story-ish. All right, conspiracy theory-ish. Meg Thee Stallion is represented by Rock Nation, right? According to Tory, he was approached by Rock Nation previously to possibly sign some sort of deal, right? Some sort of maybe representation deal, record deal, whatever. Since he declines, I don't want to be a part of it. I'm good. I'm an independent artist. Then
I'm good.
I'm not saying that Rock Nation caused this situation, right? But the situation happened, and then his claim and his family's claim is that Rock Nation had a lot to do with how the trial went. And swaying it and skewing it to the point where he ended up getting convicted off of some evidence where it's like, I don't know about that one. So it's interesting to see how this plays out, how this goes in the near future.
That would be a pretty high level of pettiness that I didn't sign with you, so now I'm going to throw you in prison.
Yes, but also what do they stand to lose, or what do they miss out on, or what does he now know that they don't want it? It's kind of like, and we won't get into it. We already said we won't get into it. It's kind of like it has strong Muammar Gaddafi.
Oh, bro, don't start doing that, bro. I don't have enough security to do this, bro.
Maybe not that level of strangeness. Like similar, this doesn't really line up with what portrayed as now as to what has always been prior to. That's definitely an offline, in person. I have the cell phones off.
Yeah, I don't have Joe Rogan security, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have Navy. I don't have
Burn
Navy
the paper after you write it down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it gives me that kind of you know. Mm,
Very interesting. Do we have anything left?
not anything in particular. You said something earlier, and
Yeah.
and I agree with it. I don't know if this is because of, I don't want to say age, but like progressing through life. But I find myself a lot more recently realizing that I just don't care about life. This way, I don't care. And it's not that I don't care in general, right? It's, I don't care to care about certain things.
So this can be used in many ways, but if you care about anything, you can't care about, if you care about everything, you can't care about anything. Again, convoluted statement, but if you're going to get over your skis on every single thing that pops up all the time, then how can you dedicate yourself to anything that's like, what is your core? What is your line in the sand? What are the things that make you, I want to say make you tick, but it's like, I don't have enough energy to care about everything. I have too many other things that I actually care about: my children, my work, growing this podcast, my friends, all these things, and kids, and my kids are first. Everything else is in whatever order it comes in. And so the only reason a lot of this stuff bothers me is because it's clearly a shell game. They're trying to disrupt, and they're trying to keep you, hey, look what's going on over here, while they fucking do some bullshit over here.
Sure.
And I just don't have the energy, man. If it doesn't impact my children or my actual life, I don't care, man.
It's hard for me to care about.
Now, again, when I'm saying that, I just mean like all these bullshit, Sydney Sweeney, or, oh my God, look at these fights, bro. Now, if we start talking like, hey, there's some mass, people hurting kids or killing, old folks or something like, hey, we should care because they're human beings, right? That kind of stuff. But, it kind of ties into this overseas stuff, and people are going to I can have a rational, passionate conversation on how people shouldn't, be killing kids and genocide, but it's like, I care to the extent that we're having the conversation. After that, I need to go take care of my children, go to work, take care of the house. You see what I mean? Like, it's not going to keep me locked up in the bedroom for 5 days, or make me go fly over to another country to go join a foreign, like, what are we doing, bro?
Exactly.
What is wrong with you? Stop it. Stop it.
And I'm there, bro. Not that it's, I think it's more of that. I just don't have the energy to just focus on shit that's, one, not conducive for the positivity and the growth going forward in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm really recently kind of just like dropping shit off the list and kind of just like getting it out of my matrix, like out of the way. Like, look the fuck out of here. I don't want to even look at this shit. Yeah. A lot more like, bro, so much more peaceful and less stress, especially in my brain. It's like, I don't have the time to think about that or worry about that. It's not that I shouldn't care about it. It's like I care about it enough to have a conversation about it, to have an opinion on it, to what I think about it. But maybe not necessarily enough to go get out there and do something. I'm sorry.
No. I hope it stays that way. There's too much other fun shit that I enjoy doing that makes me happy. I told somebody that the other day. I think I was in the office. I can't remember where I was, but they were talking about Gaza and tariffs, and I don't know, whatever. Basically, whatever was on Fox or CNN, they were just scrolling down the headlines and getting really on about it. I'm just like, yeah, I went axe throwing and shot guns and smoked some steak and some ribs, and went to the pool. Like, I don't, fuck. Man, yeah, some of that stuff sucks, and I hope it doesn't disrupt what we got going on. But until it does, like, I'm not going to get emotionally argumentative with another human being about something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm just not going to do it. No.
It's crazy to me, bro.
No, I'm not going to do it. Absolutely not.
Well said, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Well, bro, your perseverance, dude, with your head cold, you need a cough drop and a throat lozenge. But dude, you crushed an hour, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm going to try to get on the treadmill here in a minute and sweat some more of this out and get in the pool tomorrow. Got a dive day tomorrow, so I gotta be up on my shit.
Bro, make sure you bring your floaties. Bro, you mean the white socks, bro? Is that what you mean? Pool shit?
No, not my actual flipper booties.
Listen, didn't mean to go this way, but I remember people making fun of people wearing socks in the pool and shit. I'm like, I remember growing up going to the community pool. That pool bottom would slice your fucking feet up, bro.
Depending on where you're at, you might want to
Depends on what pool you
better put something on your feet.
or even going to some of the beaches with the shell. Like I have
Bro.
sliced the shit out of my feet.
Yeah. Nah, I got delicate feet. Bro. I take care of my feet. I'm gonna cover them all the time.
Yeah, bro. A lot of pedicures and lotion, bro.
Exactly.
All right, bro.